So, hello players, and today I wanted to go over the drama with iDubbbz. Apparently, there was no money sent to charity because his event did not break even.
We lost $250,000 on the event. The way that this typically works for anyone who's unaware is that once our expenses are paid off for the event, like all the minimums of broadcasting, the hotel, travel, all that sort of stuff, once that's all paid off, then we can start paying the charities.
Which I think is sad, but I don't necessarily think it's all of iDubbbz's fault. And people are not exactly happy at iDubbbz because of this. And I think some of the hate is very misplaced. I don't really think it's iDubbbz's entire fault. I think there could have been more anti-piracy measures taken. But of course, that's just kind of hard to do when you don't have as much money as Logan Paul or anything to host your boxing site. But in the clip I'm about to show you, iDubbbz himself says,
but we didn't have any anti-piracy measures. We weren't prepared to deal with what ended up happening. I mean,
about 50,000 people actually paid for it, which was way less than the first creator clash, and about 1 million to 3 million people just pirated it. And he says part of this is to blame because of how easy it is to pirate it and how kind of hard it was to actually pay for it, which is a valid claim. I mean, that's valid, especially since he actually ran the event. Who would know better than him?
If it's 1 or 2 steps to pirate it, but it's 3 or 4 steps to stream it legitimately, people are going to take the pirating option every time.
But I think it's just very funny the amount of people that just actually jump on him, because one of his biggest renters right now is Keemstar. And of course it's Keemstar. I'm not a huge fan of Keemstar. I do follow his drama alert just because it helps me keep up with the news a little bit, but I don't really like his takes. I think his takes are bad, and sometimes he just flat out does misinformation. But of course Keemstar did a video because he received a content cop from iDubbbz. Man is a renter. It's actually a little insane. Here it is. iDubbbz and his wife have been talking shit publicly and privately about every other influencer boxing promotion for years. They've been acting like they are morally better people because they are fighting for charity. Yesterday, we found out officially that their fighters were not fighting for charity. The fighters were paid. We also found out that Creator Clash 2 lost $250,000 due to pure PPV sales, and no money went to charity at all this year. Personally, I'm so sick of influencers flexing their charity card on others when the money raised is not even from the influencer. It's from your fans. The fans never get the credit. The influencer gets the credit for being a good person. So I say, let's give iDubbbz and his wife the credit they so desperately want. Well, these two responsible for donating $0 to charity this year when they promised to do the exact opposite. I think Keem's kind of brain rot dumb. I'll be honest. He's just had so much awful takes. But one, they get paid $20,000 to $25,000 for 9 months of training, and that covers nutrition, training, coaches, so many things. It is not cheap to train to box for 9 months. That covers every expense. These are big YouTubers. They are not desperate for money. $25,000 for 9 months of intense training for boxing? That's actually not a lot of money. That's 9 months of work for one event. $25,000? That's a lot of time and effort. So that's just misleading.
Because each fighter gets a $20,000 stipend. And for anyone confused about this or thought everyone was fighting for free, they pretty much are fighting for free. I think any of the fighters can attest to the fact that fighting in Creator Clash is not a financial boon in any way. That $20,000 is eaten up in those 9 months that you're training. I would say that $20,000 is on the low end of what it should cost you to train in those 9 months. Because you have to pay for your trainer yourself, and you have to pay for all of the food, the equipment, the travel, whatever you're doing to make all this shit happen. Aside from putting your streaming career or your YouTube career or TikTok on hold while you're training, it's not a huge reward.
Most of the influencers actually go there on the promise of the charity they pick will have donations sent to it.
Away from it. All of the other fighters were hoping that their charities got represented and got supported for all their hard work.
Which there, I think there's a little bit, sadly, I think there's a little bit of responsibility to be taken there, that there was no, that I guess these influencers, I guess, exactly didn't get what they wanted or deserved from this event. I like how he like paints them as such villains, like the charity card. Like, Keemstar, when was the last time you did something nice ever? Like, literally any time ever. Instead of being like a grown-ass adult that just like makes the most brain rot takes on Twitter. But, just saying. So, But I also think this comes from iDubbbz past, because iDubbbz used to be a very, very controversial creator in the way that they would just say slurs and they would just say like really horrendous shit. But recently he's been kind of going past that. He's matured. He's talked about how he's hated his old persona. I think that's good for him. I don't really care too much, honestly. I don't think you should be saying slurs, of course, online or anywhere, honestly. But like, I'm not going to rant about it. I think what he was trying to do with this event was a great thing. I just think stuff just went horribly wrong. He's going to try to get money sent to these charities, but it's kind of hard to do that with YouTube, as he'll explain here.
I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are, but I want to post the full broadcast on YouTube, and I want to have like a fundraising goal. I know YouTube has like a fundraising thing, but right now, from what I've seen, YouTube doesn't allow multiple charities to be listed in the fundraiser. And there's not really very many good options for us to collect donations ourselves. So I think we're just going to have a singular charity represented in the video, and then we'll put all the other charities in the description. So if you want to donate to a specific charity, that's where you can do it.
You just can't, like, YouTube doesn't have a great way to donate to multiple charities. It's really just one charity. So at the end of the day, I don't really think this is entirely iDubbbz's fault. I really don't think so. I think this has to do with the malicious websites that were sharing these pirated videos. Because he said, I don't think the viewer is malicious, and iDubbbz says that as well.
I try not to view any of the pirated live streams as malicious, because I think the majority of people, aren't malicious about it. I think there were 50,000 people out of 1 million plus who just said Creator Clash live stream, and like instantly a bunch of shit popped up, and it was just very easy for them to watch. And I really don't blame them for making that choice. All I'm trying to do right now in making this video is to remedy it.
But I definitely think these websites that are streaming this for free is malicious, because you're literally taking out of the pockets of charities. You are literally stealing from sick kids. If that's one of the charities they did. I don't know what charities they were representing. But like, it's literally stealing from people in need. It's fucking insane. Oh, and if you made it this far, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have anything to say. Don't dislike if you like Keemstar, because please. Yeah, thanks.